All right, guys, I'm back again. Unit 2, video 13 this time. And what we're going to be talking about today is the functions of the collective consciousness. Only two main functions of the collective consciousness. The second one is they both have a bit of depth to them, so it's a little bit of a philosophical video, but should be pretty quick as well. Okay, straight into it. Function number one. The collective consciousness, I guess to really quickly preface, symbolic universe made of symbols, things that hold meaning. Collective consciousness made of beliefs, assertions about reality. The first function, then, of the collective consciousness is it tells us what we should be doing with our lives. Let's think about those collective consciousness level beliefs that we were talking about before, about equality, about freedom. If I believe in equality, that implies how I should live my life. I should treat people equally. I should, to the extent that I see systems that do not reflect that belief in equality, I should try to change them. So whereas the symbolic universe just sort of told me what was there, the collective consciousness implies action. It implies how I should be living. Same thing with freedom. If I believe in freedom, I should act in ways that promote freedom for more people. If I believe, another one that we didn't talk about last time, you may not have this belief, but our collective consciousness, the majority of people, tend to believe that that to be successful in our lives means having at least some level of economic wealth. It may not be that you need to become rich, but you need to become comfortable. And if you don't become comfortable, you've not had a successful life, at least in that aspect of living. To the extent that I believe that, it implies that I should act in ways that will make me more money. I should ask for promotions. I should consider leaving a particular job to go take another one. So these beliefs in the collective consciousness, point one, have a function for us. What they do for us is they orient our lives. They tell us what we should be doing. In that sense, there's an implied right and wrong in them, right? The belief in equality suggests things that are about equality are right, things that are about inequality are wrong. The belief in success suggests pursuing some degree of economic success is right, not doing that is wrong. The belief in freedom, that if I act in ways that help promote freedom, that is good, and if I don't, if I act in ways that take away freedom, that is bad. In this sense, the collective consciousness is about morality. This is where our society's system of morality lives. Just a little background. This collective consciousness is a translation from a French term. It's a term by a sociologist, coined by a sociologist named Emile Durkheim back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And the word he used, the French word, and I unfortunately don't know it, but could be translated either to consciousness or conscience. And if you think about it, to have a consciousness is to have a moral sense. It is to have a conscience. So sometimes this word, and in fact in your textbook actually, this is when you see the term collective conscience, you want to be thinking, that is also, that's what Chris said, it's the collective consciousness as well. To be aware of there being of how you're supposed to live, to have a set of beliefs, is to have a morality about it. The symbolic universe, remember, is more like a map. It shows you what is there in reality. The collective consciousness, to kind of play that metaphor out, is more like driving directions. This is how you are supposed to proceed, in this case, through your life. All right, that is kind of heavy. To dial it back to like a summary statement, the collective consciousness tells us what we should do with our lives. Not the specifics of you should become a nurse, you should become a professor, but in a more general sense. All right. Function number 2. Uh, the collective consciousness promotes what we're going to call social cohesion. Cohesion meaning like connectedness or stickiness. It connects or sticks the people who step into this together. It can be thought of as a sense of usness as opposed to them over there. This is, for me, not necessarily more interesting, but interesting in a different way, because this relates back to the very first lecture that I talked about the machine. Remember, we created this whole thing. This is not inevitable. We created this because it does something for us. This machine helps us meet our needs efficiently and securely. Now, in order for that to happen, in order for those needs to be met efficiently and securely, you've got to have people stepping into it over and over and over again. I have to show up to work. I have to obey traffic lights. All of those things have to keep happening. I have to willingly say, I'm going to step into this particular society. And the way, the machine has a problem, right? The machine is kind of brainwashing us and influencing us to act in ways that we don't want to. You don't want to be watching this video or even taking this course. But the machine needs you to do that in order to efficiently and securely not make you happy, but meet everybody's needs. How does it do that? Well, what it does is has this component that creates a sense of us. We are in this together. We may not all like each other, but we are stuck together in a certain way. We can only meet our needs efficiently and securely if we all keep showing up to do the things that we're supposed to do, whether we like them or not. That's kind of heavy. And in fact, that's the end of it. So the heaviness is over now. So the social cohesion function is the way we keep stuck together is by keeping us all pointed in the same direction. We're all using the same driving directions. We're all saying, those things I approve of and those other things I disapprove of. I like equality. I drive toward that. I drive away from inequality. I like freedom. I drive toward that. I like economic success. I drive toward that. All of us are doing that. And in that sense, we're all stuck together. And in that, we all keep stepping into this machine. Whether or not it's promoting our happiness. Remember, beliefs don't have to be true. I think that's it, actually. We all keep driving in the same direction. We all stay connected to each other because of the collective consciousness. Okay, that's it for this video. 2 functions, what we should do with our lives and social cohesion, the 2 functions of the collective consciousness. I will be back next time to talk about how the collective consciousness is actually pretty complicated and messy, but we'll talk about that next.